to be aggressive, and if she comes off, then she gets her side off to a flyer as well.
And all the way around the ground as well, Rebecca, and that's what makes her so dangerous, as we can see from the wagon wheel from Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, 33 off 26 straight away. She's proactive. She's scoring at over 100, and then typically through the offside. But what impressed me, like I said earlier, was just fetching over that 34% area when people brought the field up. She's like, that's okay, I've got another thing in my locker and I'll bring that out and I'll keep scoring. So really good, and really good with other batsmen. It's always a bit nicer when you know you've got other people who are performing and are in form as well. You can afford to take a few more chances.
Yeah, well, she mentioned Tammy Beaumont in the interview there. Tammy Beaumont needs her own personal abacus. She's scoring that many runs at the moment. She's got to be stopped tonight by the White Ferns, we know that much. But Nat Siver is the other player. I'm a huge fan of Nat Sivers. She's just danger all over the park, bat and ball. Incredible player.
Yeah, I think she's a wonderful player, and that's shown by her world rankings as well. The ability to have someone in your top four who also can come out and open the bowling for your side and pick up regular wickets. She can get the ball up through at 115, 120 if she's got a good wind up her back as well. And then she's such a powerful striker of a cricket ball. She's able to access through the offside and the leg side. She's just completely dominant. She can give a chance early, which is crucial for the White Ferns' chances here. They need to grab that one, and that's maybe the opportunity to get stuck into this middle order of England.
All right, let's finish up quickly with some nuts and bolts. What's a par total for you, Rebecca Rolls? What do the White Ferns need to score today to be in with a chance?
Well, I think it's a higher par total today with a bit more sun on the pitch, but what they need to score might be a little more than that, and I'm looking at about 150.
What about you, Frank?
They would love to score 150. I can say that they would be very, very thrilled with that. I think anytime you turn up to T20 cricket, you're looking at that 135, 140 mark. That keeps you in the game. And I think with the way that the series has gone so far, it's an opportunity for New Zealand to come out, to play without fear, to try and find some of that freedom, to come out here and pump it all around the place and put the English under pressure. So hopefully we do get to see that 150 plus score.
Short boundaries on the leg side and on the off side. It's a long way down the ground, so it's all about bowling length and about going on attack for the White Ferns. They simply have to get a total on the board. Are we going to see Sophie Devine back to her best, or will it be England taking the series? We'll find out after the break here on Spark Sport.
Hey, if Spark's listening, can you guys let us know if this is live, the whole innings? Thank you.
shot. That finds the gap. He finds the gap.
From a young age, had a real drive to want to improve.
Wow, this is class.
I do remember on a lot of my school reports that I was quite inquisitive.
There it is. New Zealand's little maestro.
Yes, you had this dream to play at the highest level, but when you can enjoy everybody else's success, it makes it that much more special.
What a way to bring up 250. Good afternoon and welcome to Wellington. And later tonight we have the Black Caps up against Australia in the 4th KFC T20 match. Australia bouncing back strongly in that 3rd match to get back in the series and keep it alive. England women not far away. Fine day here in Wellington. It is a windy day, which you quite often get in Wellington. Gusty northerlies blowing around the ground. New Zealand versus England. It's the 2nd GJ Gardner T20 match live from Sky Stadium. And England have won the toss and decided to field first. A general trend, a good trend for the England side, bowling first throughout the one-day and T20 series. New Zealand made one change, and I think it's a good one. Kate Ibrahim comes into that batting lineup. She replaces Tamsin Newton. And also one change for England as well, with Catherine Brunt moving out and Tash Farrant into the side. Joined in commentary this afternoon by Frankie Mackay and Stephen Fleming. And Frankie, good opportunity for New Zealand to get batting right first, something they haven't quite come to grips with throughout this whole tour.
Yeah, huge opportunity to do so, and I think looking at the surface, it's probably today's the day it's going to play its best. And I think as well, Catherine Brunt coming out of the side, unfortunately for England, precautionary with a little bit of illness around, just weakens their team ever so slightly as well. And Tash Farrant, while she's an outstanding bowler, might be one that Sophie Devine just looks to line up, and if she can, it'll get her side away to a quality start. That's exactly what the White Ferns have been lacking. Hayley Jensen was good throughout the one-day series. We'll be hoping that form can continue into the T20 series as well.
Tash Farrant's going to open up for England, left arm swing. Very good numbers there for the left armour. She missed the first game, but has replaced Catherine Brunt, who's a loss in this England side. She's been outstanding throughout this tour. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Game on. Ready to go. Oh, there we go. There goes that in swing to the right-hander. Flem, New Zealand need to find a way to get a platform set at the top of the order.
Well, this is crucial. Best player New Zealand has to lead the way, but the pressure that England have been applying has really stunted any momentum in these opening overs for New Zealand. Put real pressure in the middle order, which is where the spinners have dominated.
Oh, it's an edge. Means Devine's underway. Test this outfield. Looks very quick and will run away for 4. Good start for New Zealand. They're underway.
It's important time, but you also have to play a certain style. If it's aggressive, stay aggressive. Sometimes the more aggressive you are, the more luck you get. On that occasion, the outside edge, fruitful for New Zealand. Each run, each boundary, the confidence just starts flowing back.
That's short and wide. Finds the gap, does Devine. Partially stops, so just the one. It's been a real trend for England. They've won 3 of the 5 tosses, and all their wins have come from bowling first. The one time they decided to bat first was the loss in the 3rd ODI in Dunedin, so they've gone back to what's served them well. That's fielding first. New Zealand have to find some answers today. It really starts with this opening combination. Ask you, Frankie, about the one change to the New Zealand side with Kate Ibrahim coming into that batting lineup. To me, It's a good move. It gives it a little bit more depth and a little bit of calmness. So I think that was a good change. Where do you think she'll bat in that New Zealand batting lineup?
I think it is a straight swap. I think she comes in at number 8 for Tamsin Newton. Probably not a position that she's spent a lot of time batting in, but you could argue she has been the form batsman this season across both formats. She's been in wonderful touch with the bat. Had last season off maternity leave and been fantastic to have her back into the domestic scene, and then through sheer hard work it's got her back with the fern on her chest as well.
Full and straight, just a touch of in swing. First over bowled, New Zealand 5 without loss. Sophie Devine hasn't really got going throughout this series. New Zealand skipper, we know how destructive she is at the top. So she'll be looking for a score on her home ground. Nat Siver with the ball. Open up from the city end. One of the world's best all-rounders is Nat Siver, and we've seen it a number of times throughout this series. Set back, it was a good call in the end by Jensen.
The T20 game is a real test for your mental strength. We follow the game, look at it and just think, well, I'll just have a go early on. But it's a lot about confidence and feel and aggression and getting the balance right. And it's really tested when you're a little bit out of form. It's going to be interesting today to watch Devine, who's world class, how she goes about it. That belief in her ability to play and hit over the top and use her power if she takes a few more balls just to get in. Frankie, you know her very well. Can you see a change in her approach? Will she be more cautious, or will it be full throttle and foot to the floor?
Well, she's always looking to score, always looking to be aggressive, but that last shot for mine, that's a sign that she's actually going okay. The ability to just turn the strike over.
In the air, up and over. Just got enough of it, did Jensen. Timing's not there, so won't run away for 4, but she's off the mark with the double.
Good intent early on from Jensen. Loves any width. He's just managed to sneak that over the top.
Oh, yes, nah.
It's good. Ticking things over, rotating the strike.
Yeah, it's finding the balance, isn't it? You want to keep an aggressive mindset. You've got to take advantage of these first 6 overs, but when things haven't been going that well, you almost want to give yourself a bit more time. So that's the dilemma you face with a batter, and sometimes you can go the other way and be too aggressive and almost bordering on reckless.
That's short. Good piece of keeping from Jones there down the leg side. Never easy, would have been blinded just for a second by Devine. Very sharp behind the stumps.
You're probably a good person to talk to, Mac, about that balance between aggression and recklessness.
Yeah, I remember that used to be a word that you used to use in our conversations quite a bit, reckless. That is a fine line, and sometimes you get it wrong. Oh, here we go. She's going to have to go, Devine! That's close. That's really close. Heather Knight had a chance. She couldn't hit. Devine had to put in the big ones here.
Out if it hits, I think. Really had to go those last few steps, but that to me is good signs for Sophie Devine, looking to take the fielders on.
Hit hard, good piece of fielding. That was Knight. They get 1, but saved 3, did the captain. 2 overs bowled, 12 without loss. I think one of the keys, Fleem, when you're talking about batting and how you go about it in T20 cricket, is staying true to how you play, to your strengths. I think if you're struggling or things aren't quite going your way, if you can fall back on your strengths and what's given you success over a period of time, I think that's always a good place to go back to. Because quite often we know you search, you're looking for something that's wrong. Quite often things aren't there that you're searching for. Tash Farron about to start her second over. Oh, she goes short. Swung away, but the protection is on the leg side. Fine leg and deep backward square. So bowling to a field. Set in the right place. Also tend to have players in the lineup that have a bit of a free rein as well. You allow them to express themselves and play without fear. Will be okay. That's inside the wide line. And others are a little bit more measured, so it's back in that balance in your batting lineup.
It's also how you gauge form. Sometimes you think about boundaries and sixes and the big shots, but the work in the middle can often go unnoticed. The ones, the singles that are turned around the corner. The balls in between the big shots, they go missing, and all of a sudden the pressure builds. This game is about pressure. T20 in particular, the first 6 overs, the pressure is on the batting side to get a run rate started, get some momentum. It's got to make sure the balance is there between the boundaries and the singles.
It's in the air, and she's going to scamper. She does it easy in the end. Good example, Frankie, of how you said she's always looking for a run. Doesn't matter whether she hits it out of the middle or miss-hits. Her first instinct is to run. It's a really positive way to go about your batting.
Gets the added benefit as well. She hits the ball so hard. Teams are wary of that power option that she has early, that often the field is set deep, sitting right back on the ring, almost as defensive position. So if she can look to pinch singles here and there, can mean they have to come off that circle to try and stop that option. Makes it easier to hit over top later in her innings.
Oh, that's wide, but Jensen can't find the gap. Just 2 from that Farron over, 14 without loss. The one change in that New Zealand lineup. Katie Abraham coming in for Tamsin Newton. Bob Carter, that New Zealand coach, sticking with, by and large, the same side that were beaten the other night. It's must win for New Zealand. 3-match series, 1-0 down. Sophie Eccleston, #1 ranked T20 bowler in the world. Oh, that's full. It's full. It's swung. It's out. Missed a full toss to Devine. And Eccleston strikes with her first delivery, and it's a big blow for New Zealand.
A little bit of discussion between the two batsmen. Devine has decided not to review it. Tossed up first ball from Eccleston, and it's just the drop that does Devine. Hit on the back leg in front of middle stump. It looks pretty good from here. #1 bowler in the world into the attack early, and she picks up a crucial wicket of Sophie Devine, who has to depart for 8. New Zealand lose their first wicket with 14 on the board.
Amy Satterthwaite underway. New Zealand left-hander in at #3. Vastly experienced. Over 100 matches in the T20 format. Just the 150, which is interesting. And over 100 matches for a player that bats at number 3 in the lineup.
Oh.
It's really interesting standing out in the middle with you, Craig McMillan, just doing the toss and feeling the gusts of wind. And the spinners were really struggling to find a length. And I just wonder there whether the wind has actually outdone Sophie Devine with a bit of dip.
Oh, yes.
There was a lot of discussion with the coaches about what pace and how to bowl with the wind that's swirling. That one there almost deceived Sophie Devine, getting up above the eyes and then just dropped and almost yorked herself, just got underneath the bat.
Yeah, it was excellent, wasn't it? Definitely got it above the eyes, and it did drop quite quickly.
Oh.
Bowled again. Bowling into the northerly, so into the gusty northerly, and she just got the ball just at the last second. There went, and so it was a sweep shot based on the early look, and then by the time the ball would reach Devine, it wasn't the right option.
Yes,
Another dot. That's an excellent over. 3 from it and a wicket. 17 for 1.
I think the word courage gets thrown around a lot in T20 cricket. And to me, it's just courage from the spin bowler. First ball into the attack, only 2 fielders out, bowling to arguably the most destructive hitter in the women's game. Still prepared to toss the ball up above the eye line, get the ball to drop on her, and then gets the result from it as well.
Freya Davies into the attack. Best of 2 for 18. Right armour. She's going to have the breeze behind her. Bowling from the northern end. Though sometimes you feel like the breeze is behind you. As you're running in, you're actually bowling into the breeze, which doesn't really make much sense. But the wind does swirl a lot at Sky Stadium here. Oh, that's a good shot down the ground from Satterthwaite. Nice piece of timing. That's an aggressive start from the left-hander.
It's just beautiful batting there. Not trying to force the issue, just pitched up first ball from Davies. Nice clear mind from Satterthwaite. Just able to use the long levers, get underneath it. Wonderful signs for the New Zealand left-hander.
Good running, good running. That's one of the problems with the drop and pitch. You do have to run on the surface, because as soon as you run just off the pitch, bat gets stuck in the outfield, and it can be a bit dangerous at times. Certainly the bat doesn't slide unless it's on that surface. This was a little bit ungainly from Satterthwaite.
She's done well in the end to stay upright, actually, there. It could have ended very badly.
Oh, yes, Gray.
Jensen's struggling here. Now 6 from 13. She's looking for that big shot. This is the Devine dismissal under the bat because of the dip. And that is as plumb as it gets. Excellent piece of bowling from the left arm spinner.
Before that delivery, I was actually going to heap some praise on the New Zealand openers. The fact that Heather Knight felt she had to turn to Eccleston so early in the match.
Oh, there she goes. Crunches that through the offside. Looking for a boundary. She goes to her strength, watches the cut shot, and she has hammered that through the offside.
Well, super shot. It's just been looking to overhit through the offside. A number of deliveries, first 12 deliveries that were bowled. I think she really had to reach full extension of the arms, and that probably helped the timing. The middle of the bat, found the gap, which was important because it was a catchable height, but good power through the offside.
It's just looking to give herself a little bit of room, and in the end she did have to reach for it, but is so very strong and powerful through that point cover region, changing the field. The sweeper's gone back. Means that third man has come up inside the circle, and there's a deep cover point now for Jensen. Works it on the onside. Could get 2 here. Placement's excellent, and we'll scamper home for 2.
That's the type of batting I think that has been lacking for New Zealand throughout that first T20 match. Just the ability to be proactive at the crease. Found herself in a little bit of a hole, struggling to get the ball away. Goes to her strengths, tries to give herself a little bit of room so she can thrash the ball through the offside. And then the ability on that occasion to work the ball into the leg side gap.
Oh, that's up and over. It might be out. It is out. Finds the fielder that was put back there 2 balls before. Jensen is gone. And Davies picks up a big wicket. New Zealand lose their second.
Disappointment for New Zealand on the back of a big over with 11 runs coming from it. Jensen once again going to that strong shot. Just gets too much of it. Possibly a little bit of extra bounce from Davies. She is thrilled to get out of that over with a wicket. Jensen, just as she was starting to find the middle of the bat, has to depart for 12, and New Zealand now 28 for 2.
Well, it was New Zealand's over until that last delivery. They'd taken 11 from the first 5 balls, and then Jensen holed out. Good piece of captaincy from Heather Knight. England made that change after Jensen found the boundary early in the over, and they were rewarded. Millie Kerr comes in at number 4. Their average will improve over time. Very skillful player. Just the 1 over left in the power play. Frustrating for New Zealand. They had won the over, they had 11 from it, and then the dismissal of Jensen.
Just a split finger delivery from Davies and just some extra bounce. Gets up on the stickers of Jensen, unable to control it and place it exactly where she wants. It's a disappointing thing as well, with 11 runs already coming off that over. You can't fault the intent, but with the wicket coming, new batsman having to come out to the crease, it feels like that momentum is just drained out of the innings once again.
It does. That was one of the issues in game 1. The highest partnership was 27 for the New Zealanders, so never really had any momentum, never able to put England under any real pressure because they keep losing wickets at crucial times. Use of the feet and we'll get off the mark. Seen that a lot from Millie Kerr. She's more than prepared to get down the wicket and get close to the ball, and she's been rather successful at it.
It's a good job as well. Sophie Eccleston bowling up close to 90 kilometres an hour. Brisk for a spinner in the women's game. Kerr still confident enough in her plans to be able to skip down, trust the hands to be able to bunt it down the ground for 1, get off the mark.
Down the leg side. Just the 1 run from that. The power play is done. 6 overs bowled. New Zealand 29 for 2.
29 for 2 after the initial power play for the White Ferns.
Powerplay.
England able to spread the field now. Wonderful shot down the ground from Mealy Kerr. Again prepared to use her feet. A couple of new faces alongside me as well. Scotty Stevenson.
G'day, Frank. Flem hasn't gone anywhere.
He's
still
sticking
there.
in as well.
I haven't finished. I've got something to say.
Well, this England side had something to say on Wednesday, and they're saying it here again. Better power play for New Zealand. That's a good shot. Pulled away with authority. That's 4 runs to Satterthwaite.
Sarah Glenn just missing short on this occasion. The drag down from the leg spinner, and that is easy pickings for the left-hander. Gets back deep in the crease, just able to pick her gap and picks it perfectly for 4.
Oh, yes, Glennie.
Yeah, rare miss there from Sarah Glenn, who has proved all series how accurate she is with her length. Sensational effort here on Wednesday, just pinning the New Zealanders down. Took a couple of wickets as well. It's a dot ball pressure. That's a hallmark of her game. Right over the top. Fielded in the deep by Eccleston. They'll come back for a couple.
Really enjoying the aggression from the New Zealand batters. It's been real intent with the running as well. Willingness to go down, not die in a hole, get that run rate up. Lost a couple of wickets, but there's still good intent. It's very important at this stage of the match.
Again out through the covers, that'll be 4 more. That is a good shot down the pitch this time, Amelia Kerr. That's the aggression Stephen Fleming talked about. 41 for 2 after 7.
Well, it's aggression and accuracy, and that's the key part when you're looking to create a strike rate. And this was one of the challenges that Jensen found. The tent was there, but just using that bottom hand to come across the ball. The time she cut the ball was very powerful, and she got it away. The next time, good captaincy and put the field out. Just the desire almost to over-attack and go too hard at the ball. Using that bottom hand was her downfall. Good challenge, mixing aggression and accuracy.
That's Siva back into the attack. Went for 7 off her first over. Shapes as a crucial spell this with no brunt in the side. Slower ball to start. Off the pad for a couple. Just a little casual in the field on that occasion for England.
Been really good intent since both of these two have come to the wicket, pounced on anything loose, been looking to score off every delivery.
It's in the air, but it's over the top. I'll pick up another couple. Good running. Amelia Kerr quick.
Already the running's been really good so far throughout this innings. It's another way to look to try and bring some positivity into the way you play, pick up a few extra runs.
Driven. Fielded it long on, just the single.
And just with the swirling breeze as well, it can be quite difficult to know exactly where to place your boundary fielders. Quite often, boundary riders, they get very good at judging how far off the boundary they can actually start. So the ability to know how much ground in behind them they can cover, the ball sit over top of them, and also how close they can get in order to try and stop those twos. But with the wind swirling around, it's hard to judge whether the batsmen are going to be hitting with the wind or against it. Note that all the English fielders starting right on the rope.
Yeah, third man, fine leg, mid-wicket. And a long on in place. Clipped away by Kerr. They're scoring at a good rate, crucially. And largely the shots have been safe shots. Pulled away this time. More hitting along the ground in this New Zealand innings so far. Rebecca Rolls joins us.
Kia ora, Scotty. Frankie, good to see some intent here from these two. Always hard when you lose the first couple of wickets early, but run rate's ticking along nicely.
Sharp bit of fielding, finished the over, 49 for 2 after 8. Pretty good scoring from the New Zealanders, 20 runs off the last 2 overs. Not too many dot balls either. They're going to stick with pace here as they search for another wicket. Fred Davies. Oh, backing away from that, Amelia Kerr. That was right on the poles. 50 on the board.
She does that well, Amelia Kerr. Always looks a bit tough and dangerous backing away like that, but she has very good hand-eye coordination. Clearly plays it nice and late. Gives herself every chance of making contact. And this good partnership continues, bringing up the 50 for the White Ferns.
Izzy Wong working on the Rubik's Cube. Apparently 19 seconds is her record. It's pulled away again, just playing that shot well, Satterthwaite.
What's your record, Scotty?
Oh, I've never done one. There's no way I ever will. Some things in life, you get to this age, Rebecca, and you just say to yourself, it's not going to happen in my lifetime. I'm not going to give it any more effort. Terrible admission to have to make to oneself.
That's right. I found out very early as a child you couldn't peel the stickers off either to make it work better. Davies around the wicket to Satterthwaite. Protection out on the leg side.
Yeah, I like that angling into Satterthwaite, hoping maybe to get her with an off-pace delivery, swinging through. There's plenty of cover in the offside there, catching positions.
Well, and I know I'm always in the Wicketkeepers Appreciation Club, but really good also having Amy Jones up to the stumps here. Another layer of pressure for the batsman.
It's a good shot. Dragged away towards the boundary. Dunkley Fields, just the single taken.
Good shot by Satterthwaite here. Dissects the two deep fielders out on the leg side. So calculated. Didn't quite make the boundary, but safe shot nonetheless.
It's a good accumulation at the moment for the White Ferns. Good shot. Through cover for one. Thought about a couple, but good cover in the deep. That's the end of the Davies over, 55 for 2. Two down, there are some of the predictions. Current rate 122. The below par on this pitch. Rebecca Rolls, you posited a score of around 150. Eccleston coming down to meet that one is Satterthwaite.
Yeah, it did. Because the question was, what's possible and what will the White Ferns want? I think there's a few more runs out there than the last game. And in order to put this one to bed, 150 is about where it needs to be. In my opinion, though, if you're looking from 96 last time, as Frankie said before the game, 130 to 140 is at least in the game. As the leg side protection heads out again for Amelia Kerr.
Oh, yes, safe.
Good thing about this as well for the New Zealand side is with the aggressive intent that they've shown against the other bowlers, it's meant that Heather Knight has had to turn to Sophie Eccleston to bowl her third over already of the match, all before the halfway stage.
Oh, yes, safe.
I like that approach too. Satterthwaite, not for the first time in this over, just taking a couple of steps down the pitch. Eccleston's first delivery of the match to Devine was full, dropped on her, trapped LBW. This one is dragged down short. There's no run there.
Missed out, did Amelia Kerr on that occasion. Offside field, all up inside the circle, gets the short ball that she's been searching for. Unfortunately finds the fielder.
Good positive footwork there from Amelia Kerr, which means that bowlers struggle a bit more to get on top. And as Scotty, you, Frankie and I discussed before the game, just can't let those dot balls and that pressure build up.
Yeah, there's her average speed, Eccleston, and that's a big factor here. Oh, that's a big edge. Runs away to the fine leg boundary, and it will go for 4. A strike of luck for Satterthwaite, 63 for 2 after 10.
That's where that extra pace can make using your feet difficult to Eccleston. That ball, 92 kilometres an hour, beats Satterthwaite for pace. When it's your day, it's your day. Able to get a little inside edge on it. And picks up her third boundary of the day.
Maddie Villiers about to join the attack as we look back at the average speed of the bowlers, spin bowlers in this series. Kasprick, just 70 kilometres per hour on average. Eccleston, who also has bowled a lot into this breeze. It's a stiff wind here coming from the north, 83.8. All 3 of the English spinners in the series so far, much faster.
Maddie Villiers early in her career. I saw the first time last game.
Oh, clubbed. Should go to the boundary, will. 1 bounce 4. That is a great shot from Millie Kerr, taking the attack to Villiers' first ball.
This is what we were referring to earlier, Scotty. Not letting the bowlers settle, not letting clumps of dot balls stick together, and using your feet and being positive. We talked about how the English do this, and in this partnership, Amelia Kerr and Amy Satterthwaite also doing a good job at not letting that settle. Amelia Kerr helps herself to a very nice boundary.
Right out of the middle of the screws, that one.
Oh.
Total tautology there. Grant Elliott joins us in commentary. Welcome.
Yeah, nice to be here, Scotty. Beautiful day in Wellington.
And she won't miss out on that either. The fielder in the deep on the leg side. Just the single. That's the dot balls here. That's just 5 now in the last 4.5 overs. Just 5 dot balls.
Yeah, and a welcome change of bowler to the crease. The ball spinning into the right-hander, making it easier for Amelia Kerr to accumulate those ones, but also be a bit more aggressive. Probably slightly more difficult for Amy Satterthwaite. So an opportunity for these batters to rotate the strike.
It was just backed away there, Amy Satterthwaite, as a big gust blew through. Intriguing to me, no third man in place here. Get wide and Satterthwaite can guide it down. Instead, she goes over the top. Lofted cover drive, that's 4 runs.
Class again here from Amy Satterthwaite, uses her feet well, sees the fielders up, wants to get on top of maybe Villiers early. Even with the ball turning away, she's got the confidence to walk down the wicket and elevate it over the cover boundary of the cover field.
And again, that's even better. 1 bounce 4 this time. Amy Satterthwaite is taking it to Maddie Villiers.
Absolutely even better. So good to watch. We talked about not letting dot ball settle and keep the run rate ticking over. That gives you the permission and you've earned the right now, Amy Satterthwaite, to play shots like that. Beautiful cricket.
One ball to come in this Villiers over. It's gone for 3 boundaries. Can Satterthwaite finish it off? Reverse this time. They'll get a couple at least. And that'll be the 50 partnership between Amy Satterthwaite and Amelia Kerr. Crucial partnership at that. 78 for 2 after 11.
Oh, Glennie!
50 partnership of just 36 balls. Amy Satterthwaite contributing 28 of those runs. Amelia Kerr 20, Sarah Glenn.
Yes, sir.
What I liked about that last over, Scotty and Rebecca, was Amy Satterthwaite had 2 over cover. They put the extra cover boundary back, mid-off back, and then she's been proactive and gone to the reverse sweep. So she's looking for those open spaces, she's looking for runs, and I think that that's a change in mindset from these batters from what we saw the other game. It was almost looked like they were intent to just get a score.
Oh.
This time in the deep, chance, 1 bounce, just falls short. Siva thought she was in the money there.
So even a stroke like that, you're looking at Amy Satterthwaite, who's coming down the wicket, looking aggressive. She's trying to take this game to England. Whereas the other day, it was a little bit too tentative for my liking.
Well, Sarah Glenn went for 12 of her first over today. She went for 11 in total in the match on Wednesday. So that shows that New Zealanders have just got a little more on the front foot, and that's a beautiful shot. Should run away and will run away. 4 runs.
This is a great shot from Amelia Kerr. Ball turning away. Talked about Sarah Glenn already leaking more than she did in the entire game the other day. Just beautiful use of the crease there by Amelia Kerr. I think it's Tammy Beaumont there and wasn't even anywhere near it.
Beautiful cut shot from Amelia Kerr. She loves that shot. Goes for it again. Stumping appeal, and she's going to walk. Tried her luck once more, Amelia Kerr, and Sarah Glenn, too good.
Well, Sarah Glenn was too good, as was Amy Jones. Unfortunately for Amelia Kerr, didn't quite cover all her bases there and stay safe. Keep her bailout options open. Moved her feet. Probably a little shorter from Sarah Glenn. Got to be able to catch up with those if you're going to advance down the crease. Unfortunately for Amelia Kerr, her part in this very, very good partnership comes to an end. 25 off 22. New Zealand 84 for 3 in the 12th over.
Yeah, unfortunate end there. She cut the previous ball perfectly. Great shot using depth of crease. And then almost trying to be aggressive and using her feet to the next one. Big loss there after a great partnership.
Important that Katie Martin sustains this momentum here. She's very good at that. She did it the other day. She should be coming off an innings that give her some confidence, but so important for these next 8 overs that momentum isn't damaged.
Katie Martin, she was the top scorer for the White Ferns on Wednesday. 36 runs for her. She's not going to have long to get the iron here. She does have to keep going. The run rate at the moment is good. Big appeal for LBW, and it's gone! First ball, Katie Martin trapped. She's going to tee it up.
TV Umpire Director, we have a player review for LBW. On-field decision was out. I've checked, it's a fair delivery. Can we start with front-on vision, please? Okay, the ball doesn't look near the bat, but we'll go to ultra edge anyway, please. Okay, flat line, clear gap, keep going through, flat line. I'm satisfied there's no bat involved. Can we move to ball tracking when ready, please? Okay, pitching in line, impact is in line, and wickets is missing. If we go back to the on-field umpire, please.
Not out the call. Good review, Katie Martin. She was involved in one for Amelia Kerr. And the last of the one-day internationals too. The Oracle. Down the patch, she's gone this time though. 2 stumpings in the over. Katie Martin survives a first ball LBW decision. She does not survive a second ball stumping. 84 for 4 after 12. Goodness me.
Well, Amelia Kerr came down the wicket earlier, and now Katie Martin just 2 balls later. Same thing. And England back in this game nicely and looking pretty. Katie Martin departs for naught, scores 84 for 4.
We're going to take a bow at Amy Jones here as well. Ball came between bat, ball, pad and everything, and she maintained composure in the end, had a lot of time to get the bails off there. Talk about when you're advancing down the wicket, you need to cover your stumps and cover the ball. And Katie Martin will be as surprised as anyone to see that one snuck through after surviving a first ball review. Unfortunately, that brings, well, not unfortunately, but unfortunately she's gone. And a new batsman to the crease.
Brooke Halliday, she's had a brilliant summer so far in national colours. Halliday comes in at a crucial time for New Zealand now. 2 quick wickets. Sarah Glenn and Amy Jones conspiring. It is obviously a plan from a New Zealand point of view to advance down the wicket. We've seen All of the batsmen today do that. You've got to pick and choose your moments.
There is a number of different ways they can look to attack it, Scotty. Anna Farrant takes the ball here for a third over. But I think that when you look at playing spin, you look at depth of the crease. We saw that from Amelia Kerr. Nice and deep in the crease. Cut the ball for 4, very next delivery. She tried to change the length of the spinner. She came down to the spinner, unfortunately didn't quite get to the pitch. Katie Martin trying the same thing to get her off that length, that dangerous length, by using her feet. Another thing you can do is also sweeping. We saw Sophie Devine trying the sweep to Eccleston early on. Unfortunately, it hasn't been well executed today for the White Ferns.
Oh, they get some width there. Can't cash in.
So this was Amelia Kerr just before she got out. Depth of the crease, beautiful. And then tried to get her off that dangerous length. You could say that she could have played the same shot.
Oh, that is everything but for Brooke Halliday.
And this is the batters trying to get the spinners off the length that we spoke about prior to the game. It's that dangerous in-between length. Sarah Glenn, maybe she saw her come down and just dropped her length a little bit.
Too wide for Halliday on that occasion. The other thing about that shot of Amelia Kerr in the second example there, the dismissal, how non-committal she was to the shot.
I wondered if that second ball, Grant, was actually shorter than the first one, and saw that and tried to bail out, but was long gone.
Yeah, well, potentially we can give all credit to Sarah Glenn. Perhaps she saw her coming down the wicket, dropped her length back. That made it very difficult for what Amelia Kerr wanted to do, was get the ball on the half volley and play aggressively. This was Katie Martin, survived a review, and then very next ball, trying to play that leg side across herself.
No run off the last ball of the Tash Farrant over. 5 dot balls in it, just 1 run, 85 for 4 after 13.
And I think there would have been a lot of discussion last night, or post the first game, about how to play spin. And it's different for every batter. You can't just have one way that you're going to attack it as a team. Every batter goes in, chats to the batting coach or head coach, and discusses the way that they might attack the spinners.
Yeah, it just feels a little bit in this innings that it's been a one-size-fits-all approach to taking on the likes of Eccleston and Glenn. Pulled away nicely through the field. That's 4 more. That is a lovely shot. Great timing from Satterthwaite. She moves to 41.
Well, this demonstrates Satterthwaite's class. Sees 2 wickets fall at the other end in quick succession, but still doesn't miss out on the bad ball. Really well played. Again, she uses the crease quite well. Pulls it over mid-wicket for 4. 2 left-handers now at the crease for New Zealand. I've seen that in a very long time.
Are there any left in the country? Apart from Stephen Fleming, who's tapped me on the shoulder, but I just don't think you're eligible to play for the White Ferns, Flem.
Got to get selected.
Oh. Yes, Nat. Yes, Nat.
Good running. 2 taken. Sarah Glenn now 2 for 24. She moves on from the Benno figures.
I think this is a very important innings for Amy Satterthwaite. She's only got 150, 1 score over 50 in 103 games. She's in now, she's on 40. She's got an opportunity to steer the White Ferns to a total which hopefully could be a winning total. She's perfectly poised. This is where she has to make sure that Halliday gets herself in. They get the partnership to a point where potentially they can both have a go at the bowlers, be a lot more aggressive. But perhaps a little bit of a holding period here for the next 3 overs or so.
44 now for Satterthwaite. Halliday yet to score. She's faced 5 deliveries, scores off her 6th, so she's underway. I love the way Satterthwaite has controlled the pace and tempo of this innings. As you mentioned, she's lost a couple of partners already, Amy Satterthwaite, but she's always keen to keep the strike rolling over, and she's played safe shots predominantly. Just well executed cricket shots. Comes down the crease and takes another to finish the over. She'll retain the strike. It's 94 for 4 after 14. Change upstairs with Craig McMillan and Stephen Fleming joining Grant Hill.
Run rate now 6.71. The White Ferns, they go at 8 here. They'll be looking at a total of over 130. 8 and over gets them 142. It's that point in the game where you assess the total to set something which could give you the winning edge.
Average winning score here, Wellington is 116.
Mike's not turned on.
Cut away by Satterthwaite. And this will be 4. Great shot from Satterthwaite. Davies gives her a little bit of width to work with and placed beautifully from Satterthwaite.
Well, her timing has been immaculate throughout this innings, pretty much from ball 1. The placement on this occasion was divine. Good use of the pace. Just guiding it through the boundary. Complete control.
Oh, she's knocked her over on 49. Davies got one to swing into Satterthwaite, played around it, and her castle's been knocked over.
Complete control to out. Great response. A little bit of shape back into the left-hander with the previous delivery. The adjustment was made. Cross seam. You just see it swinging back in. Continues on to middle stump. And a key strike for England again. At a key time. Amy Satterthwaite, 49-30. New Zealand now 98 for 5.
This England team just doesn't let you settle. They keep bowling, disciplined line and length. You miss, they hit. Satterthwaite and Kerr, partnership of 56. Since then, they haven't been able to produce a partnership.
Maddie Green comes in at number 7 for New Zealand. Still a fair bit of work to do here for the White Ferns.
Oh, yes, great.
Well, this delivery was just a cross seam, but it just had in swing. It just kept coming. And in the end, straight through the defences. Satterthwaite looking to make the adjustment late, and it just snuck between bat and pad. It's a good piece of bowling to end a very good innings.
Finds the fielder at point. Well, the average winning score here in Wellington's 118. New Zealand are going to need a lot more than that with this English side, who have chased very well throughout this one-day and T20 series. They've got the platform, but just keep losing wickets. Crucial times, it puts them under pressure when they're actually looking like they're on top of the game. Oh, that's a good piece of glove work, and Maddie Green has now gone for 0. Wow, what a catch that is from Amy Jones. Outstanding piece of keeping, and England keep chipping away. New Zealand now in trouble.
A little bit of shape away again. Interesting to see if it was another cross seam delivery. It is. And a little bit of shape away. Inside edge this time, just nipping back. It's great control, great bowling. Double strike. At a time when New Zealand were pushing forward. Maddie Green gone for 0. It's 98 for 6.
Kate Abraham comes in at number 8, and there's a bit of a repair job to do here for the White Ferns. Oh, it's a top over from Davies. 2 wickets in it, just conceded the 4 runs, 98 for 6. New Zealand have lost 4 for 14 in the last 3.3 overs. It's a good partnership between Kerr and Satterthwaite, and since then things have turned bad. Halliday finds the gap there. The timing is excellent. Just ran the ball away behind point. 100 up for New Zealand.
Well, this is where she's strong. Brooke Halliday, wide of the off stump, just a touch of width given. Beautifully timed. She times it well there. England will try and stay away from that area. Just the cover back and 3 fielders out on the leg side. Siva will adjust her line. She needs to be a bit straighter. That's well bowled. This is Amy Satterthwaite's wicket. Ball before, beautiful. Bit of width, hit that for 4. Adjustment from Davies. Well bowled. Satterthwaite was set. Extremely well bowled.
Well, the momentum that New Zealand gained from that Amelia Kerr and Amy Satterthwaite partnership has just disappeared over the last 2 or 3 overs.
Well, that was an excellent over. The second wicket actually went back inside, so it hinted at swinging away and came back, so the full repertoire during that over.
Cut away, finds the gap again, slight misfield, and it'll be another 2. Very strong in that region behind point is Halliday.
See, this is the first ball. Satterthwaite just went away, the cut shot. That one did similar. Yeah, normally was the one that kept coming in to the left-hander. Hit leg stump, so good control at a crucial time.
Good piece of keeping too, never easy, those inside edges. Amy Jones, outstanding glove work.
And when I look at this New Zealand team, there's a number of players that stand out as being experienced. Sophie Devine, Amy Satterthwaite, Katie Martin, Maddie Green. They should be the ones that almost try and take responsibility for this batting innings to get a formidable score. Obviously gives new players like Ibrahim and Halliday an opportunity here, albeit just for a couple of overs. But it's always handy when you've got a player of experience there to help you through with the partnership.
Yep.
New Zealand 106 for 6. Couple of big overs for the White Ferns, 12-15. Things were going pretty well till that 12th over. You see the 2 wickets taken, then they lost another double in the 15th. And that's really put them on the back foot. Davies into her 4th over. It's the outstanding figures of 3 for 21 at this stage. And England have done a good job pulling New Zealand back after they had a good platform to launch from, but lost key wickets at key times.
You talk about batting partnerships, and you don't mind losing wickets as long as there's someone still there who's batting. I felt that Satterthwaite was her responsibility to go on. Albeit she got a decent delivery, but losing wickets in clumps and then having 2 new batters at the crease just really does stem the flow of runs in T20 cricket.
Pulled away, just the one to mid-wicket. But you look at this New Zealand batting lineup, and there's only 2 players that have really got in, and that's Mealy Kerr and Amy Satterthwaite. They're the only 2 that have got past 20. So the ownership goes on one of those 2 players to actually bat as deep as they can, and the other players will bat around that person that's been in for a while. One partnership of 56. Again, not enough from that New Zealand lineup.
He won to Halliday. And I think when you look in the opposition, you look at Tammy Beaumont. She's done that for England. She's created the foundation. She's gone on. She's got runs, taken responsibility. The White Ferns just searching for someone who's going to stand up and take responsibility for the innings.
Yeah, she's been a good example New Zealanders can look at. Oh, knocked her over. Davies has done it again. This time it swung in, it kept a touch low. Ibrahim was caught on the crease, and again, the castle's being knocked over.
This has been an outstanding spell of bowling, the last 2 overs in particular. Just found a really good method with this cross seam. On this occasion, it kept coming back in, similar to the left-handed delivery. It got rid of Satterthwaite. England are on top through the bowling of Davies. Abraham out for 2, 108 for 7.
Lee Kasparik comes in at number 9. Best of 19. Well, New Zealand need that, or something close to it here, if they're going to post a score they're going to be relatively happy with. Oh, there's some shape there. That one goes away from the right-hander. Excellent spell, 4 overs. Her best bowling for England, 4 for 23 from Davies. New Zealand 108 for 7. Outstanding spell. Was able to swing the ball both ways. Consistent with her line and length, made life very difficult for the New Zealand batsmen. And in many cases they didn't have an answer to the bowling that Davies was able to deliver. Previous best was 2 for 18, so outstanding figures. 4 for 23. Heather Knight goes back to Sophie Eccleston. Just the 1 over left for her. Look at those figures. 1 for 12 with 9 dot balls in those 3 overs. That is why she is the #1 ranked T20 bowler in the world. So difficult to get a hold of. Of course, she picked up the big wicket of Sophie Devine early.
Oh, yes, so.
This was the wicket earlier. Just back of a length from Davies. It's bowled an impeccable line and length. Which really does cramp the batters up, gives them no room to free their arms.
Oh.
I mean, it was looking good for New Zealand at on the 12th over, 84 for 3. Yeah, in the last 5 overs, losing 24 for 3. 4. So, really struggling now.
Wait. Yep. That's right.
When confidence is down a little bit and the team is searching for a performance, it can often happen that you plug one hole and start doing reasonably well. So at the top order, you might find another hole in the middle order, and that can often just dog you until the confidence flows through the team. And your point before about individual performance, often it's the way to get out of this rut is to get an individual performance that drags the team with you. And those players you mentioned are key, the experienced players, the players that have the skill and the knowledge how to do that.
Oh.
They become vital in lifting the team forward, so that the 49s have to become 60 to 75 if they can, and really be the key contributor to a performance similar to the 3rd ODI. Satterthwaite made a tremendous 100. The other players you have to turn to, you're right. The team sort of finds ways to get themselves in problems when their confidence is low.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I totally agree with you, Flem. I think it's also for the young players that are there to play with freedom. They've almost got the license. They've got to go out there and enjoy it rather than feel claustrophobic at the crease and feel like they're under pressure. Go and express yourself.
18 overs bowled, 110 for 7. New Zealand have had their middle order ripped out. Freya Davies has done an outstanding job. 4 for 23 from her 4 overs. Leaves New Zealand in a little bit of a hole. Sophie Eccleston is economical as usual, 1 for 14 from her 4 overs. And Davies 4 for 23. Sarah Glenn 2 wickets as well. Tash Farrant back into the attack to bowl her 4th and final over. Lapped by Kasparov, got across his stumps well and was able to find the gap and pick up 2.
It's a good shot. You need pace on the ball and generate a little bit with the wrists. Final point of contact, just to get enough to clear the keeper.
Oh. Yes, dog.
Ferns just limping a little bit towards the end of this innings. Ideally, you got the throttle down, a little bit more circumspect. Another good performance. English bowlers as a group, very impressive. Do a little bit of pressure around the halfway mark. Responded with wickets through the middle. Stunt any aspiration of New Zealand. Score around 140. Average winning scores 118, which New Zealand should get to, but one feels in these conditions, it's this English batting lineup that might not be enough.
It's hit powerfully, finds the gap and will pick up a much needed boundary. That's a lovely shot from Brooke Halliday. Using a bit of momentum into the shot, picks up 4.
Well, she's been in excellent form. This is a good shot. It's been predominantly looking around that point area. This time decides to go between cover. Just gives herself a little bit of room and a good swing of the bat. Finds the gap, races away. Fast outfield. No doubt once that was through, it was into the boundary for 4.
That time pace off. Trying to cramp Halliday, give her no width at all through that offside. Very strong through that cover region.
Yeah, it's good bowling. Identified her strength. A little bit of a cutter. Gripping a little bit. That's what was impressive about the shot before from Halliday. Cover making a little bit out of nothing. Just good batting. The field change, the offside now up. So you can imagine this one pretty straight in line.
Oh, yes, Tash.
Push hard, we'll look for 2 here. But can only get 1. T in the 19th over, 119 for 7. One over left for New Zealand, and just been given some good news that Wellington's alert level status dropped on Sunday morning, which means that crowds are allowed to attend Sunday's final T20 doubleheader here at Sky Stadium. Those stands should be full to watch the White Ferns in England in their final T20, and also the Black Caps in Australia as well. Of course, the men's game is the early game on Sunday. Starts at 12. And then the women start at 4. So the country's been in a bit of a lockdown and not able to attend various sporting events around the country. Good opportunity for Wellingtonians to get out, see some cricket.
Yeah.
Knocked her over. Got across her stumps, but didn't get any bat on it. Siva picks up a wicket. And New Zealand now 120 for 8.
Well, the idea was good. Get inside the ball. Try and heave it down to the leg side. Siva was up to the challenge, taking pace off. She's done very well throughout this tour of New Zealand. Kasparek was busy, 5 for 8. It's 120 for 8.
Come on now.
Jess Kerr in for New Zealand. Jess Kerr out for New Zealand. First ball from Siva. She is on a hat trick, and this time it was a change of pace, and Kerr didn't pick it.
Was good variation. Really is working well. Disguised well, especially when a new batter is looking to hit big. Out the back of the hand, beautifully delivered. A bit of top spin bounce, hitting the top of leg stump. New Zealand's 9th wicket falls for 120.
Disappointing finish to this New Zealand innings. They've lost 7 for 36. We're 84 for 2 at one stage with Kerr and Satterthwaite going really well, putting England under some pressure. And then since Amelia Kerr's dismissal, things have turned bad rather quickly. Rosemary Mayer is New Zealand's last batter. She'll be facing a hat-trick ball here from Nat Siva. Can she pick up a hat-trick? Nat Siva on a hat-trick here. Rosemary Mayer in at number 11. Can she keep it out?
Oh.
She can. It was right on target from Siva, but Mayer did well and gets down the other end.
Well, it's excellent control. Using the variations very well, but the accuracy, keeping the stumps in play, the top of off stump. The back of the hand to hit the top of leg stump. Quality bowling, quality variations.
Not an easy variation to bowl either, Flem. And that one just angled in, but it was on target.
Yep.
Halliday, just the one. What do you think of this total, Flem? It's in that sort of mid-range. Was looking like they were going to get a few more earlier on in the innings, but I guess it's one of those ones, you bowl well, field well, you're a chance.
Well, it's just the fact that England are confident. Good batting lineup, a dynamic batting lineup. So one feels it's a fraction short, but it's score on the board, it's pressure.
It's hard down the ground to long on, just the one. Brooke Halliday will face the final ball of this New Zealand innings. It's been a similar story right throughout this tour. When New Zealand batted first, they've just had no momentum. Final ball. Oh, that's well bowled from Siva. Great job. That last over just went for 4, which means that after 20 overs, New Zealand have finished 123 for 9. Rosemary Mayer 2 not out. Brooke Halliday 16 not out. And it was a classy, clinical performance with the ball and in the field by England.
Batting first, you try and put as much pressure as you can on the opposition. New Zealand flirted with it. Had a good positive start. The first 10 overs full of intent and looking well placed to put a good score on the board. Just a cool, calm England side. Good experience. And through the middle, they came right back into the game. Started picking up wickets and the pressure turned quite quickly onto New Zealand. Partnerships really of note, apart from Satterthwaite and Kerr. And there was a procession of wickets. Halliday not out, 16 of 20, continues her form. But below that, not a lot to report. The bowling was excellent. It's good at the top, under a little bit of pressure. But the spinners again are very effective.
Right, let's head downstairs. Grant Elliott's got Amy Satterthwaite with him.
Amy, great innings from you. Anything in that surface today?
I felt like it played a little bit better than the last game, but still a little bit in it if you really dig it into the wicket, and probably the change-ups that they were using, I think, made it sort of hold in the wicket a little bit.
At 84 for 3, did you feel like things were well poised? What total were you eyeing up?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we were in a much better position than the last game, and we were eyeing up to 140, 150. If we could push on, was going to be a good total. I think 124 is probably a bit under par here, but at least we've got something on the board that we can give ourselves a chance.
And what do you think you have to do to try and get through this top order, this strong English top order?
Oh, look, I think we've got to put the ball in some really challenging areas for a long period of time. We've probably let them off with a few 4 balls when we've created some pressure, so I think if we can keep it in some really tight areas early on, then hopefully we can get a few wickets.
Well batted and good luck out there.
Thank you.
She played nicely, did Amy Satterthwaite, and that's the target for England. They need 124 for victory here from their 20 overs, and the required rate will be 6.2 per over. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have England's chase as they look to tie up this T20 series.
Australia live from here at Sky Stadium tonight. Our coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. The series currently 2-1 in favour of the Black Caps. Can Australia square it up and head to a decider here in front of what will hopefully be a full house on Sunday? We'll find out tonight. All right, job to do now for the New Zealand attack. They've certainly got the bowlers who can get the job done, but it's not going to be easy. 124 the total, largely down to a great 49 from Amy Satterthwaite, who looks really composed out there. Rebecca Rolls played good cricket shots, safe, and she executed well.
Exactly, and this innings and her match-winning innings in the one day is really, what that shows is Amy Satterthwaite is back. She's had a year off, she's had a baby, but she's back, and the words I wrote down were composure, intent and mana, and I think that she displayed all of those today.
Such a shame that she couldn't get to that half century only once before, has she, in T20 cricket? But really the chief destroyer for the English side today was Freya Davies, who took quick wickets and big wickets, and just the momentum went from the New Zealand innings.
Absolutely did. This was the first one to get Hayley Jensen, but after that she just attacked the stumps. She would Satterthwaite, Green and Ibrahim all out just from attacking the stumps, keeping every mode of dismissal in play. That was probably one of the better wicket-keeping catches you'll see. I have to divert and praise Amy Jones again, but that one just, you know, if you're bowling at the stumps, you're going to give yourself every chance of getting wickets.
What's interesting to me about that Freya Davies spell too was she was getting bounce out of that pitch. She got some really severe bounce at times when she bowled just short of a length, and that was hard for the New Zealanders to bat against. And I think if you're looking through New Zealand, the pace attack especially, and I think that's what brings Sophie Devine into the attack. It's the kind of pace that she likes to bowl at and the kind of length she enjoys as well.
Like Sophie Devine and Lee Casbrick in particular are going to be key today. Rosemary Mayer, another weapon in the White Ferns locker, but they were going to have to be on their game and try and induce a wicket tumbling event like England did when they got 7 for 39. You know, those sorts of things are going to win you matches.
Well, the Rubik's Cube still in action on the boundary. New Zealand warming up. They have a total to defend. It's not a big total, but it is something on the board. So they need to go out there now and do a job if they are to level the series at 1 apiece before Sunday's showdown right here. We'll be back with all the action with Frankie Mackay, Grant Elliott and Craig McMillan after this.
Welcome to Wellington. First innings done for the White Ferns. That was a very good bowling and fielding display by England. New Zealand just managing 123 for 9 from their 20 overs. Freya Davies, the outstanding bowler there, 4 for 23 from her 4 overs. England require 124 at 6.2 runs per over from their 20 overs. If they can do that, they would have wrapped up this T20 series to go alongside the previous one-day series that they've already won here in New Zealand. It's been a very successful tour. They're a good side. Good preparation, being able to play in New Zealand with the Women's World Cup coming up early next year. Getting used to the conditions and the different stadiums that they'll be playing at. Very good opening pair for England. Tammy Beaumont, what a star she's been throughout this tour. Look at those numbers. Good strike rate, 750s and 100. She has been England's most consistent batter throughout this tour. Done a great job at the top of the order. Danny Wyatt has played pretty well at times as well. 200s for her, best of 124. Jess Kerr is going to open up for New Zealand, and we'll see how much swing she can get. Straight away, Beaumont finds boundary fielder, and the England chase is underway. Good afternoon to Frankie Mackay and Grant Elliott.
Yep, New Zealand need wickets. That's what they need. It's almost a blueprint of the previous game, except they'll be a lot happier with 123 on the board. Same field for Beaumont as it is to Wyatt, which is interesting.
Oh, that's big swing. Protection out there on the square leg boundary. That's Maddie Green.
Reason why I say it's interesting is Tammy Beaumont used her feet and looked more leg side, whereas Danny Wyatt looked more offside in the previous game to Jess Kerr. She's got that prodigious swing which moves from the left of our screen into the wickets. You've got to be careful giving yourself too much room.
Oh, there goes the inside edge, trying to drive through cover, which is exactly where Jess Kerr wants her, trying to hit the ball. This time she gets a bit of luck and will pick up 2.
Well, this is interesting because the very first delivery she faced in the first game, she used her feet and got outside off stump and tried to hit that towards mid-wicket. Now she's trying to choose to go against the swing, which opens up that gate and brings Jess Kerr into the game. What Jess Kerr wants is the player to try and hit the ball through cover, exactly what Beaumont did in that previous delivery.
Just wandering outside her crease there. Tammy Beaumont trying to negate some of that in-swing.
I feel that this is where the England batters are really proactive at the crease. They walk around the crease, they move down the crease, depth of the crease, and also across it to try and access areas that they can get the singles in. There's a huge area at square leg to the left of our screen there now. So if you do walk across off stump, you can just nudge it in there for one and rotate the strike.
Use of the feet again, this time finds cover.
I think that use of the feet and depth of crease, movement around the crease, is about experience. Look at someone like Tammy Beaumont. She's played, this is her 91st game, 92nd game. So she's got a lot of games under her belt. Sometimes when you're just starting out, it's very difficult to try and be proactive and innovative.
Short, pulled away, but straight out to green on the boundary. That will end the first over. Fry from it. .124 the target for England. It's a strong batting lineup. Trying to secure the T20 Series today here on Wellington. And New Zealand going to open up with some off-spin. Lee Kasperuk. Very good stats, good average, 67 wickets. Pretty good economy rate too. Not a massive turner of the ball, it's Kasperuk, but very good with her flight and changes her pace. Swept hard for 4. Good shot. Beaumont very strong on the sweep. Straight away she offers the challenge to Kasperuk.
Proactive batting once again. Beaumont prepared to just shuffle down the crease and then into the sweep shot. It's flat and hard and it just skips across the surface for 4.
Interesting change in the field. So 45. Someone at the fielder just in front of square and a long on. Get the feeling that with the way she plays the sweep shot, Frankie, that fielder at square leg could get a little bit of work, and there is a gap behind her. So Beaumont can beat that player at square leg. She'll pick up 4.
I actually really like the decision to open the bowling with Lee Kasperuk, a genuine wicket taker in this format. I like the field they've gone with as well. Just with the lack of pace that Kasperuk offers up and the ability to drift the ball, a sweep shot can be difficult early in your innings.
Oh, it's the reverse. That's the reverse sweep. Up and over keeper Martin. Little top edge.
We saw a number of reverse sweeps from the likes of Maxwell and Finch. Everyone does it in their own authentic way, getting the bat high, not changing the hands. Normally see a lot of hockey players. People that play hockey are very proficient at sweeping and reverse sweeping. And if it becomes a shot that in your armory that you've got confidence in, you can change the field by playing it. Not only change the field, but also the length of the bowler.
that's where Casper comes into her own as well. When batsmen are looking to be ultra aggressive against her, doesn't get a lot of purchase out of the surface, but is very canny in the way that she uses her flight, change of pace.
Oh, good use of the feet. Up and over. Got enough of it to clear cover. And we'll pick up 2. Shot from Wyatt. 12 without loss, England after 2. Plenty of cricket on Spark Sport, and tomorrow is the domestic one-day final, the 4-trophy final between Canterbury and Northern Districts, live from Hagley Oval. Live coverage, 1:50 p.m. on Spark Sport. Canterbury finished top qualifier. Northern Districts won the elimination match, and it's the first time the one-day final has been a day-nighter, so that will be an exciting game of cricket between those two sides. Rosemary Mayer is going to replace Jess Kerr. Interesting option to take Kerr off after 1 over, Grant. I mean, the White Ferns have to pick up early wickets, which is always a bit dangerous because you can go searching. When you've got a total that you think's under par, quite often you go searching for wickets and offer scoring opportunities. But I thought Kerr's first over, and the fact that she swings the ball, you almost better to bowl her for 3 up front. It's probably the best time for her to bowl. Anyway, Rosemary Mayer has replaced her from the northern end. Oh, that's nearly snuck through.
It's a good point, Macca. I think, you know, there's 2 trains of thought. There's the train of thought where I'm going to bowl a bowler for 1 over and just keep chopping and changing it. That's not too far away there from Rosemary Mayer first ball. Could have potentially even been a review. And the other train of thought is exactly what you said. Use the swing. Use the assets that you have, and Jess Kerr, it looked like she created problems. Not only did I think she bowled a good over, but Danny Wyatt has really struggled against Jess Kerr. She really has struggled. And she's tried to play the ball through the offside against Kerr, which hasn't quite worked for her. And we saw her adapting a little bit in the previous game by trying to hit a bit straighter. But she's an offside player, so anyone that swings the ball back at Danny Wyatt, you've got an opportunity.
Yeah, quite often you hear talk about matchups. That's a really good matchup for New Zealand. To be fair, there hasn't been a lot of matchups where New Zealand have actually been on the right side of it, but that one is actually one of the positive ones, and these are the dismissals during the one-day series with that big in-swing.
Yeah, she swung it in, and because Danny Wyatt is so dominant through the offside, she's looking for that cut or that cover drive against Kerr.
Oh, up and over. What a shot that is. In fact, I think it might have gone all the way. Look at the timing there from Wyatt. It has gone for 6. Wow, that's exceptional timing.
Just brilliance from Danny Wyatt, the cross seamer from Rosemary Mayer. Just a little shuffle down the crease from Danny Wyatt and into that favoured zone. Up into the KFC zone as well.
Knocked her over. This time it swung back in. Exactly what we were talking about. Mayer's got some swing. Wyatt's being knocked over, and New Zealand have their first.
Brilliant. Just brilliant from Rosemary Mayer. Just talking about, it looked like a cross seamer the ball before. It got hit into the stands for 6. This one, late shape and into the stumps of Danny Wyatt, looking for that favourable cover area. The first wicket down. Brilliant from the White Ferns. Danny Wyatt goes for 9. Scores 19 for 1.
An early wicket for New Zealand. Nat Siver in at number 3. Three overs bowled. And this was the wicket. It was beautifully. Just swung in really late. It just dipped in. Wyatt looking to hit through the offside, left a gap and had her stumps knocked over. England 19 for 1. Good start by Rosemary Mair, picked up the wicket of Danny Wyatt in the previous over. New Zealand are going to have to keep doing that, keep chipping away at this England batting lineup. Sophie Devine, New Zealand captain, into the attack to bowl the 4th. Nice shot, nice piece of timing, but finds the fielder at cover.
You talk about swing, Macca, and I think Sophie Devine, she's a wicket taker. It's difficult as captain to bowl yourself sometimes. And at times I feel like maybe she's not been reluctant, but she's given other people an opportunity before her. I like to see her swing the ball away. Bowls a good line and length, a heavy ball. She's also probably the only bowler in the lineup who's got a bouncer. She uses it to good effect. But if you've got the likes of Jess Kerr swinging the ball back into the right-hander and then her taking it away, I think that it complements each other quite nicely.
So that was a no ball, that last one. That was radioed through to the umpire. So a free hit now. Tammy Beaumont. Sophie Devine over that front line. Up and over. Looked like it was going to land in the fielder's hands, but it kept going down breeze. And then over the head of Jess Kerr.
Looking to go up and over mid-off. Jess Kerr backtracking. Couldn't quite lay a hand on it. Not perfect timing from Beaumont. Good enough on this occasion. Interesting seeing the cross-seam deliveries early on. That one dispatched. And then the knuckle ball as the follow-up from Rosemary Mair. Just tails in, pace-off delivery as well. Hones in towards the stumps and gets the result.
Oh, that's good use of the feet. That is a lovely shot from Tammy Beaumont. That will run away for 4. That's intent and aggression, taking it to the New Zealand skipper.
Just showing once again, Beaumont happy to be on the offensive, happy to skip down to the pace of Sophie Devine. The timing on it better on this occasion. Comfortably up and over the top. A little bit of pressure back on the New Zealand skipper.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's T20 batting. Frankie, you talk about the pressure back on the bowler. She skips down the crease. Very next ball, she's expecting Devine to maybe drop her length slightly. She rocks on the back foot, uses depth of the crease to try and get up and over it or underneath it. So trying to tussle with Devine's lengths.
Oh, that's hammered. That is crunched to mid-wicket. And that will be another boundary. Second boundary in the over. Beaumont is going nicely here. England 30 for 1 after 4.
Well, down the crease, over wide extra cover, then back in the crease, play and miss, and again, coming down the crease again. This time, Devine sees her coming, drops it short. Beaumont, brilliant hand-eye coordination. Great shot.
20 from 18 is Tammy Beaumont. Gee, she's been in good form this tour. She must love these New Zealand pitches to bet on. Oh, up, and out. Mare's got two. Siva tried to be innovative, and it didn't work, and it's a nice, comfortable catch for Katie Martin, and now New Zealand have two.
This is a big, big wicket. Nat Siva, such a dangerous player. Rosemary Mayer has been good with her line and length. Nat Siva probably wasn't the wrong option, just poorly executed, got it on the gloves. Bounce from Mayer, and an easy catch for Katie Martin, the Oracle. Nat Siva goes for naught, scores 30 for 2.
She's such a powerful player. I just don't know about that option from Nat Shiva. Such a strong hitter of the cricket ball, trying to get a little bit fancy with the little ramp shot, and it ended up being her downfall.
I think you praise intent for players looking to score early in their innings, looking to take a calculated risk, but I think everyone has struggled with the paddles and the laps early in their innings. Just seems a disappointing way for one of your best players to go out.
Heather Knight in at number 4, England captain. This has been good from Mayer. Good changes and good variations. She's picked up 2 crucial wickets.
Yeah, she's been impressive. I mean, it can be a great shot to change the field. There was no one there. There was a wide square leg. You can see what she was trying to do, but when you do possess the power that she has, perhaps use that to try and hit it in front of square. Rosemary Mayer getting some decent shape here into the batter. I think what we've seen with the likes of Jess Kerr and Rosemary Mayer is bringing the ball back into the right-hander, brings the stumps, brings in LBW into play, cramps the batters up, gives them very limited opportunity to free your arms.
Good foil for Jess Kerr as well. He's not a big swinger of the ball, Rosemary Mayer, but seams the ball around instead.
Finds the gap at cover. And we'll get 2.
Frankie, would Rosemary Mayer be one of the quicker bowlers on the domestic circuit at the moment? Does she have the ability to get quicker?
Yeah, absolutely she does. I saw a list the other day of the quickest deliveries bowled in the last couple of years in international cricket, and Rosemary Mayer's name was on that list. Speed gunned at 120 clicks, so there's definitely some gas in the tank.
Punter short and wide that time from Mayer, and Tammy Beaumont is in such fine form. She's not going to miss out on that. Picks up 4.
Talking about her ability to bowl fast, kiss the ball onto the bat. On that occasion she goes to pace off, trying to deceive the batsman once again, possibly that little knuckle ball again, this time short and wide, and that's the invite that Tammy Beaumont was after.
Good bat speed, good hand speed through the shot there by Beaumont. Found the gap. Finds the gap again at point. This time protection out there. Hayley Jensen. 5 overs bowled, 38 for 2. Of course, a lot of good news in recent times that there's going to be a relaxation of Wellington's and New Zealand's alert level status, so we will have spectators here on Sunday for the final T20 double header between England and New Zealand, and Australia and New Zealand. Double header here on Sunday at Sky Stadium. The Black Caps will play Australia in the early game at 12, and these two teams will square off at 4 p.m. later in the day. So a terrific way for both those tours to finish with a full stadium.
Down. Nice, Mellow.
Absolutely, Craig. I reckon that we celebrate this moment and fill the stadium. See if we can fill this stadium.
Here we go, Lee.
It is a great stadium to be in when it's at full capacity.
Down, Gordy! Keeper!
A little bit of indecision, but they'll get through for one. Well, Beaumont's been very good right throughout this tour. She's been the star off the bat for England. And that's a good illustration of her ability to use her feet, get down the crease. Her interception points change quite a bit. And what it does is put the bowler under a lot of pressure because of that movement. She is able to get momentum into the ball through it. The use of the crease and getting closer to the ball. Very skillful player that has scored a lot of runs on this tour.
Run in here, Davey. Come on, go.
Key to that is always putting the bowler under pressure, trying to change their length, taking an offensive way of playing against them. Frankie, what did you used to do as a spinner when a player like Beaumont sweeping, coming down the wicket, using depth of the crease? What are the tools at your disposal to stop them?
Well, it's definitely difficult, that's for sure. It makes a spinner's life increasingly hard when people are able to move up and back and also laterally as well. So the key is, I think, for any spin bowler, it's around your control of length, around your control of pace, and then just some subtle variations thrown in with that as well. So can you get a little more top spin on some? Can you bowl some with side spin? Can you get some to kiss off the surface? Hopefully try and spin the odd one as well. It's just a way to try and stay ahead of the game. I think that's often something that spinners are really good at, especially in the shortest format. If you know that you're against a player who's looking to get on top of you, it's how can you stay a step or two ahead of them.
Six overs bowled.
Here we go.
No, one ball left.
Come on, Spa.
And the way that Lee Casperett often looks to deal with it when she is under pressure and batsmen are looking to score heavily off her is to take all the pace off the ball. Last delivery, 67 kilometres.
Catch!
In the air, but finds the gap. Work for Jensen to do. Does well. Good strong arm. And that is the end of 6 overs in the power play. England 43 for 2. Good start by England in the power play, 43 for 2. New Zealand have to keep picking up wickets. Hayley Jensen coming into the attack. Time for a change upstairs. Rebecca Rolls and Scotty Stevenson joining Frankie Mackay.
Our first look at Hayley Jensen as well. T20 Series. Another canny bowler. Best of 3 for 11 in her career. And that's mainly where she'll look to attack. Bowl nice and tight lines, look to hit the wicket hard, and look to utilise her variations alongside that, try and get some grip out of the surface. Might even see the odd short ball as well.
Oh, a chance, half a chance, maybe a quarter. Rebecca Rolls thinking about Hayley Jensen's approach here.
Yes, it's a good bowling change, I think. Really good option for breaking this very, very crucial partnership. England off to a good start when you look at those power play comparisons.
Whipped out to mid-wicket, just taking the single. Moves on to 3. Tammy Beaumont here. Crucial now. The White Ferns just need to get her out. They must be sick of the sight of her.
Cricket, it's an easy game, isn't it, Scotty? Just get her out.
Get her out. When you're Tammy Beaumont, it looks easy, that's for sure.
Thought about taking up coaching, Scotty?
Yeah, but look, that was a very simple message, wasn't it? Someone get her out.
Here we go.
She's been outstanding. She has been outstanding.
Oh, she's been brilliant, but I think sometimes it is that simple messaging. Most batsmen are going to struggle to score off balls bowled in that area there. All she can do there is scamper through for a single. So it's about keeping it nice and simple, making sure you are really clear on your plans, and it's trying to make her take a big risk. That Siver coming out, she felt like there was a gap left open for her. She wanted to access that boundary early, took a high risk to try and do so. End up New Zealand picks up a wicket. It's trying to do the same to Beaumont as well.
Width offered out through extra cover just for the single. With that, and that's the thing about Tammy Beaumont, is she's so good all round the ground that it's hard to bowl her with any kind of specific plan apart from the dot ball pressure plan. And you're right, that length that we saw 2 balls ago, she was still able to work it away for a single, but she won't be satisfied with singles.
She's definitely got a good all-round game. Any wagon wheel that Tammy Beaumont has. There's a fair bit of coverage. End of the 7th over, 47 for 2.
Once she gets into a rhythm, it's the bowler having to make it work. Tammy Beaumont just gets set at the crease. She doesn't change her approach. She doesn't have to. So it's very hard to think about what kind of bowling, what kind of plan is going to work to her. Jess Kerr going to come back into the attack. I like that. Just a little bit more pace, maybe try to find a bit of bounce. Bowling into the breeze. Just going to make that a challenge.
She's looked dangerous with ball in hand. Here's Jess Kerr. I think with how square Tammy Beaumont plays through the offside and just the way she likes to try and whip her hands through the ball, I think it's a very good matchup, especially if Jess can go to her slower balls as well.
Oh, that is a big full one, and that has been cracked away. 1 bounce for 4. Great shot from Tammy Beaumont. Not the start Jess Kerr wanted.
Now that's more wagon wheel coverage for Tammy Beaumont. Unfortunately for Jess Kerr, not that swing in that we're so used to seeing from her. It held its line, and Tammy Beaumont able to just lift it up and over. Mid-off for 4.
It's about those nice tight lines. It's about making it hard for Beaumont to score, making it hard for her to access areas where the fielders are up.
Cutting this time.
Get back, Jackie, get back. Good mate.
Too easy that. It's just an easy single. Allows her to rotate the strike. She doesn't have to make a decision now for a couple of balls. She can relax into it. Gives Heather Knight a chance to score as well. And that's just too easy. You have to pin Tammy Beaumont down. Make her face a couple of dot balls. Make her think a little harder about her approach. Wide again this time from Kerr. They take 1. Think about a second. None there.
And possibly that is a method that New Zealand can try and look to as well, is that actually maybe the best way to try and get Tammy Beaumont out is to try and get her down that non-striker's end, is to bowl it at the other batsman. On this occasion it is Heather Knight. Try and string some dots together. So actually it becomes the frustration for Beaumont that she can't get on strike, takes her almost out of that bubble, out of that rhythm of her innings, and then is more likely to make some mistakes from there.
It's full again. She gets down to that, takes another single. It's all just a little processional, isn't it? No genuine run rate pressure here for Tammy Beaumont.
No, not yet, but the key thing for New Zealand is to try and break this partnership. Once you can get through this, get this side 3 down, Amy Jones is coming in next, and then outside of that, there's a lot of inexperience through that middle order. Sophia Dunkley, Maddie Villiers, still new to their international careers. And then you're into the bowlers, so you're not actually far away. It's just the ability to get in, get this side 3 down.
Just Kerr giving plenty of room on the offside in this over. Is that damage control? Limitation?
That's a little bit that. I think Jess Kerr often is asked to operate bowling out near the wide line. Often it is to utilise the swing, make it difficult to be played through the offside. But I think on this occasion, after getting hit for 4 first ball.
Oh, she knew it was coming. Gee, that's clever cricket. That is 6 runs. Tammy Beaumont at her very, very best.
Great shot here from Beaumont. Knew the width was coming. 61 for 2 England.
Amelia Kerr back into the attack. Tammy Beaumont hits one into the KFC zone. Gently lapped by Heather Knight. Well, look at the movement. Jess Kerr, she'd been bowling wide. Tammy Beaumont said, "Not on my watch." Moved across intentionally. And that's chips all round.
I think Tammy Beaumont aimed for that, Scotty. As you say, very big level of predetermination.
Oh, that's off a leading edge, but it falls agonisingly short. Kate Ibrahim was chasing as hard as she could.
Well, this is definitely cricket at its best. The little peculiarities and idiosyncrasies of cricket. One day this will go straight down Kate Ibrahim's throat. Today, not so much. Amelia Kerr brought on to break this partnership, to get a wicket. That's what she does. Try and get the White Ferns back into this game.
That's gone a long way. Coming around, no, won't get there. Too straight for Satterthwaite.
I think that's still encouraging for Amelia Kerr. I would say it's a false shot. And we saw England get 2 wickets in the 12th and in the 15th over. And look at the difference they made. 7 for 39, the White Ferns lost. Amelia Kerr searching for that trigger.
I'm actually surprised she's bowling this far down. 9th over.
Not usually in the power play, particularly when she's playing with Kasprick, but often gets the 7th, as you say, Scotty.
Oh, nice Yorker.
Personally, don't think it's the worst option sometimes for the power play.
Here we go, mate. Here we go. Come on, Kiwis.
Well, if you want wickets, you've got to go to your genuine wicket takers.
Catch, touch, help!
And it's the stumps. Does she get a touch on it? Amelia Kerr, unsure. They're going to have a look. She thinks she may have got a finger to this.
TV umpire to director, we have a umpire review for a run out. Can you show me front on, please, first? Yeah, I can't see anything there, so if we could go to side on. Yep, so she's touched the ball. And if we can just see when it hits the stumps. rock and roll that, please. And just pause it when the bail lifts. That's over the line on that shot. Can you roll back one? Can you go back one frame, please? Thank you. I'm satisfied the back's grounded. I have a decision for the big screen.
Come on, team. Not fine legal, third man.
Millimetres in it. Tammy Beaumont survives, or should I say, Heather Knight survives.
Tell you what, she's done a fantastic job to get back. That was hit back powerfully from Tammy Beaumont. Knight's reacted well. Had the bat in the correct hand as well.
Casbrick swept, no run. Have a look at this again.
And again, it's spot. Come on, one more, one more. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Easy, JK. Lee.
Takes a lot of skill from the bowler as well. Tip that back onto the stumps. Something Spin Club love to practice in the nets. Nice little deflection, but Knight up to the task getting back.
Down. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, some good game awareness from Heather Knight there. I think sometimes you bat with certain people a lot, you know they're going to hit it back straight, and you're on your toes when it comes to situations like this. Tammy Beaumont would be one of them. Good touch. Heather Knight onto it, just got back.
Oh, swinging away. Could be a chance right over the top. That's 6 more, is it? No, just 4, just short. Tammy Beaumont putting on a show again here tonight.
Good piece of striking once again from Beaumont with the deep mid-wicket fielder. 5-10 metres off the boundary. It's just skimmed over top of her. Beaumont lucky to get away with that. Moves on to 49.
Trying the reverse sweep. Can't quite get to that one. Kasprick, just 69 kilometres per hour, that delivery. That's going a long way down. That's the end of the Kasprick over, 71 for 2. Well, here's the KFC 6 from Tammy Beaumont. The code is a Colonel's 6. Don't forget the apostrophe. Head down to your local House of Colonel Goodness and get yourself into a free menu item. 6 runs and 11 herbs and spices. Free regular chips unlocked. Tammy Beaumont, the nation of New Zealand, thanks you. A little bit of a mix-up. Stephen Fleming placing Frankie Mackay in the commentary booth. Ball's on the England court here, Flem. No doubt about it. Amelia Kerr, can she make the breakthrough?
Oh my goodness me.
Good delivery, that.
On a similar stage where the New Zealand innings came apart, Amelia Kerr was part of that, and so I guess she'll take that responsibility to try and turn it around for her side. But wickets will do the trick. Certainly what England did to New Zealand at this stage of the game.
Ow! Sophie!
Oh, good hustle. Very good hustle. They had to motor.
Tell you what's been an eventful 2 or 3 overs. Scotty and Flem had nearly a run out at the bowler's end. Chance on the boundary. Here, Sophie Devine-Watt, a good pickup, rips in the throw. Katie Martin just a little wide for her to gather cleanly and bring the bails off, but pressure was on.
Down the ground this time, Beaumont. That'll bring up 50. Tammy Beaumont, half century number 8 in T20 internationals. She is having a tour to remember, Tammy Beaumont.
Yeah, it's quality batting. At the moment, it's the difference. It's the substance at the top that she's providing. It gives confidence to all around. It's one area that New Zealand has been lacking. England doesn't. Through Tammy Beaumont.
Oh, that's nice now.
Wrong in this time from Millie Kerr.
Yeah, Tammy Beaumont just keeps producing on this tour, doesn't she? 8th 50 in T20 cricket. Never really looks too rattled, but it's a crucial part of the game. New Zealand got 84 for 3. And then we know what happened.
Yeah, we do. Tammy Beaumont on this tour, 71 in the first one-dayer, 72 in the second, 88 in the third, 25 here on Wednesday, and now 51. Every cricketer in the world would take those numbers.
Absolutely impressive. Just a wide off the last delivery.
Good finish from Millie Kerr. Interesting over, 77 for 2 after 11.
Well, there you have the comparison. Those double wickets weighing down the pink worm. The red one pretty unobscured at the moment, heading upwards.
Jensen again, should be called a wide, and will be.
New Zealand can ill afford that, but tidy take. Katie Martin. On another day, batsman leans over and you can whip the stumps off. And it's a great delivery.
New Zealand were 82 for 2. And the 12th over, Glenn struck twice. And New Zealand only
Come on, Black.
able to put on 31 more runs after that.
Good girls. Good Hayes.
So a collapse is possible. Just doesn't look likely at the moment.
It's definitely required.
And New Zealand went from sailing along to a trash fire on a train wreck pretty quickly. Get some width and punched out through the covers for a single. Tammy Beaumont, outstanding again today, all round the ground.
Well, the best T20 teams in the world, the production of runs comes from the top. It's aggression, it's accuracy, improvisation and power. That's everything we see in this innings. Tammy Beaumont. That's why England is one of the best teams in the world.
Oh, Jenny, go!
Little change of pace that time from Hayley Jensen. Beaumont's still good enough to scratch out a shot, and that's another 50 partnership on the board for England. Here's Beaumont's wheel.
Talked about this a bit, her hitting zones. Some 3 very specific ones there. Just shows how well she manipulates the field and improvises, as Stephen Fleming just described, in what has been a very impressive innings so far. Teammates there appreciating the consistency and the leadership of Tammy Beaumont.
Knight comes down the pitch this time.
When you compare these two sides, you talk about experience and players getting opportunities, but when you look down at the numbers, particularly the top order of England, and you see in the 50s column, you see 9 and 7, 7, 5, 9. It's about 6 or 7 players that really feature getting across 50 a number of times. New Zealand, you got Sophie Devine, who's streets ahead about 14 times, and then it really drops away.
Waits on that one.
tells you a story. Sorry, Scotty. It tells you the story of where the majority of runs are coming from. It's not just one person, but it's a whole group. The top order really of England are just so used to playing with each other and one person getting a score of substance, and that usually wins the match. That's one of the areas New Zealand needs to work on, getting more players into that position and going on. That's why England are in such control during this series in particular.
Jensen this time. Wide of off stump. That brings to a close the 12th over. 82 for 2.
Those stats really tell a story, Flem. As well as that, there's probably a slight difference in terms of the amount of innings and matches that England have played, but more than that, it's the consistency. It's the ability to string 50s together in consecutives, convert into hundreds, and basically make sure that if someone can't step up, if a Danny White or Tammy Beaumont can't, then you've got Knight, you've got Siver, Jones, anyone else can.
Well, that goes back to the Amy Satterthwaite innings. Satterthwaite, 94th innings today in T20 cricket, just once past the 50 mark. To back the point you make, Stephen Fleming, need a little bit more production than that. But I do wonder, though, from a coach's point of view, Flem, when you've got a player like Tammy Beaumont who's going along nicely here, if you took her out of the equation, does it become a different story? And what I mean to ask is, can one player make all the difference in this format of the game?
Well, they can win games. The team will win the series, but players can obviously win the game. And someone who's in form can have a massive influence, especially in a short series, a 3-game T20 series. If they're in form and confident, then they can have a massive impact on the series by being the key contributor in a couple of games. And then your other experienced players will come in, but easily drop off. It's a bit fickle with the T20 form. Come and go pretty quick. So the way in which you judge players, I'll keep you over talking, Scotty. The way you judge players has to be a little bit different in T20, maybe more games, and not use traditional method of form, but look at the way they're playing and how they're striking the ball, because player can be in form, had a couple of rockets to cover and be out, be dropped, but they're actually doing their job or close to getting a score of substance.
It's whipped off the pads, catcher in the deep, falls just short again. Mealy Kerr can't get there. Rocco Mayer thought she might have had a wicket there.
The other aspect about Beaumont is that there are others that can do this job. And so if she does miss out, then you can tell by the statistics they've got a core group of players in this batting lineup that have played a number of games together. So there's real cohesion between that team. And if one fails, the other's got the confidence to say, hey, it's my day. And we all hear those cliches, it's my day today. But when you have a batting unit that gets used to doing it, there's a certain comfort about what they do.
Some really good points there, a couple. Flem, I think I like them. Particularly around how a person plays, you keep persevering. You've just seen Aaron Finch and Martin Guptill come back into really, really rich veins of form. I mean, they've got a lot of runs behind them, a lot of stats behind them, but you've still got to persevere with those big players.
Not too short this time. Rocco Mayer, and that has been dispatched. Wide third man for 4.
Just a bit too much width and a bit of bounce, and Heather Knight is too good a player to miss out on an opportunity like that to get a boundary. See here, waits nicely for it. Yeah, strength, timing, hits it late. The other part of that is the core that you talked about, Steve. If you go back to 2014 and you track the stats from that, that's when this group got together and the central contract started. And that just enables that consistency, that knowledge and familiarity of players across the squad, options for the coaches when injuries happen, and that's showing for England at the moment in this series.
It's that time together. Centrally contracted, working through academies. Oh, it's another leading edge here. Heather Knight's living dangerously all round the place, and they're going to take an overthrow as well. 2 runs off the last ball of the over, 13 gone, 89 for 2.
Yeah, Brooke Halliday with a direct hit there, but unfortunately, field is out towards the boundary, perhaps a little on the back foot from a backup perspective. Should have been onto that a little earlier.
Jones and Dunkley still to come. Work down through Villiers, Eccleston, Glenn, Farron and Davies. Not looking likely to be required today, the tail end. But stranger things have happened in T20 cricket. There's the bowling card.
Yeah, not too much to look at. Other than Rosemary Meir picked up a couple of wickets. Bit of pressure coming on from Amelia Kerr, but breakthrough really desperately needed by the White Ferns.
Jensen's bowled a couple. She's been economical. Through cover for a single here.
The other aspect about a team that's settled is they get very comfortable with their role. So the role definition is very clear. A team that's trying to put together a side and get what they think the best players in often struggles with finding the right position for them. They just want the best players, but they're not sure what role they can play. It can often lead to being a little bit muddled, especially in the shorter form of the game.
Oi.
By having a very clear role for each player and then giving them time to learn that role and settle, you just get the feeling of support, that feeling of clarity that comes with a game that's sometimes quite uncertain. I think that can help a player's mindset and certainly help a team's consistency.
Single through backward point. No urgency at all required here, and that's the problem for the White Ferns. It's on a coast at the moment.
Here we go, Jenny.
England just putting it in neutral and gliding downhill.
Team, keep working. Here we go, Jay. Oh. Nice, mate.
There's certainly no risks required from England at the moment to knock off this score. Already at a 50-run partnership, of which Heather Knight scored 15. So Tammy Beaumont doing the heavy lifting there, as she has done her entire stay in New Zealand.
It's got full coverage on the zinc today too.
Amy, hit.
Beautiful day in the capital. Howling northerly notwithstanding. It's all the ones in this Jensen over, and that's all that is required. In fact, it's more than is required. A runner ball is a very easy equation at the moment for England. Heather Knight, that's gone right up in the air, but it flies over the top of Katie Martin and will run away. A lucky shot, but the perfect result. 98 for 2 after 14. There's the comparison, but there is no comparison, really. We'll hand over to our commentary team, Craig McMillan, Stephen Fleming and Frankie Mackay.
Thanks, Sumo. Amelia Kerr into her third over. Starts with a swing and a miss from Beaumont. 26 from 35, the equation now for England. Required rate is 4.46. Should be comfortable. Can New Zealand pick up a couple of wickets and make it a little bit more difficult?
Good, Amy.
Well, one way one way of making it a bit more difficult is using the field, taking a few risks, which is now on the shoulders of Sophie Devine. You can let the game roll out, hope for a little bit of magic somewhere, or we can take the initiative and try and force the issue. Bringing another fielder up, which she's doing. Bringing the square leg fielder up. Try and create a little bit of pressure. Try and create a mistake in a small opening for New Zealand.
Yeah, I like that, Flem. I like this pressure. Oh, it swung away. That's exactly where the fielder would have been, and it goes away for 4. That's very proactive from Knight. Very clever.
Yeah, it's very good batting. It's the right move from Devine. Got to force the play. Put the ball back in the batter's court. But it's beautifully manipulated. Player in form is going to see the gap. Also good captaincy from Devine. Created an opportunity by the batsman premeditating. Batting was very good.
Really interesting. That change in the field from Devine and the delivery that Knight hit for 4. Yeah, good option. Just wondered whether it was the wrong end. Which would have been an interesting option by Kerr after bringing that fielder up inside the circle. But Heather Knight was very proactive in the way that she saw the change in the field and then decided to target that area.
I think they've played Kerr exceptionally well. They've looked to dominate, they've looked to be proactive, looked to put New Zealand's best bowler under pressure.
15 overs bowled, 104 for 2. Required from 5 overs for England. Lee Kasparek into the attack, about to bowl her last over. Up and over, fielder's up, so that's nice shot from Heather Knight. Got some width, way too wide from Kasparek, and Knight's not going to miss out on that. It's at the stage now where it's less than a run a ball. You actually almost have to bring everyone up. The only way you can win this game is by getting both these players out. So England either win with 2 overs to spare, or all of a sudden you turn things around, pick up some wickets. Nicely played, just the one.
Well, that was the only disappointing aspect about the play in the last over, where Sophie Devine brought up, deep square, forced a shot, and then the deep square went back. You've got to be all in. You're going to create an opportunity, and well, the batting was good. The task, she's sort of committed to being more aggressive. I think you have to stay there. You can't have a dollar each way. You've got to be aggressive. As you say, Mac, it's either going to be over in a couple of overs, or it's going to run out of slow death.
Sweet fine. Oh, there's a misfield there. Means that they'll come back for, no, just 2 in the end. Jess Kerr not doing the best of work there on the 45. Got a knee on it, not a hand, unfortunately, for New Zealand. Oh, what a shot that is. Great use of the feet. Picked his spot, did Beaumont, and picks up another boundary. England doing this in style now.
Just looks so easy. Tammy Beaumont, Kasparek coming round the wicket, hopefully trying to slide one past the outside edge of Beaumont. But no such luck for the New Zealand side. Skips down the wicket once again. Meets it with the full face of the bat and the glorious shot from Tammy Beaumont.
Use of the feet again, this time out. Finds set of the weight. Beaumont looking for the same shot. She didn't get the same result. And finally some reward for New Zealand.
Well, good piece of cricket coming back over the wicket. Still willing to toss the ball up. On this occasion, just a miss hit. Unusual. Good reward. Temptation, put mid-off back, kept mid-off up, and they get the reward. Tammy Beaumont continues 63 or 53. England 113 for 3.
Amy Jones comes in at number 5. Talented wicketkeeper batsman. Had a good day off the gloves. It's very tidy behind the stumps. She comes in now and can finish things off for this England side. Just 11 more runs needed to win this T20 series.
Come on, Kiwis. That's really good, Lee. Good, mate.
End of Lee Kasperwick's spell. England now 113 for 3. That's a nice tidy spell. 1 for 26 from her 4 overs. New Zealand off spinner. Fortunately, she didn't really have enough runs to play with. 12 dot balls, so pretty good bowling performance from New Zealand off spinner. Not a big turner of the ball, but uses some drift, some changes in angles well.
Here we go, Mello.
11 needed.
Here we go, Mel.
Amelie Kerr bowling her 4th.
Yeah, go, go, go.
Finds the gap at point.
Flick.
Just the 1.
Very slow through the air. So 15 kilometres difference between the spinners and the two sides. This occasion using the flight. Getting the miss hit from Beaumont. Looking to repeat the shot from the ball before. She created some room around the wicket. Situation not getting the elevation or the timing.
Full. Hard down the ground for 4. That is powerful from Amy Jones. Kerr over tossed and she got punished. Jones underway.
Well, the field's up and quite right. As this game comes to a conclusion. A lot of flight. So the googly straight down the ground.
New Zealand will be disappointed, Flem. Hoping to try and keep the series alive. They've had real issues right throughout the one day and now the T20 series when they've batted first. Have not been able to put any competitive totals on the board, which has meant that the bowlers have always been struggling. England are a well-oiled machine. We've seen that again today.
There's been a trend, hasn't it, through the games with the batting at certain times. It's been the top. The middle to lower order have given them a score. Today the top was a little bit better. Middle order just fell away. I think halfway they knew they were 20 to 30 runs short. End of the over. It's 122 for 3.
Yeah, they were. Quite often you find that teams have a preference batting first or second, and New Zealand certainly have a preference for batting second, but have only been given that opportunity once on this tour where they had success. They're certainly going to have to work out a formula for batting first and how they go about laying a platform, finding a competitive total on the board. Been very impressive, have England. The men in the stadium, Luke Ronke, the New Zealand batting coach, talking to Aaron Finch. Found some form the other night for Australia, which is danger signs for New Zealand. Up and out. Heather Knight looking to finish in one shot, got no timing at all. Maddie Green takes the catch, and Hayley Jensen picks up a wicket, and England lose their 4th.
Well, it's too late. It's still a wicket for New Zealand. At this stage there, she lost it in the sun. That's what she's trying to say. Wasn't high enough to cause any problems though. Heather Knight, 39 at a runner ball. England 122 for 4.
Sophia Dunkley comes in, number 6. Just 2 more runs needed by England. And that's up in the air too, but that's going to be safe. And that will run away, and that will be the winning runs for England. Amy Jones brings up a series victory for England and a very comprehensive performance. They win the second T20 match by 6 wickets and now lead this 3-match series 2-0.
Well, too good, England. It's a spell through the middle with the ball that did the damage. Wickets were taken and really stopped any momentum New Zealand had. Got themselves into a position of strength halfway through their innings. Couldn't finish off. It's been a similar story. England very competent in their chase. Very good contributions from the top order, which is something New Zealand has been looking for. And they just went about their business with confidence, with accuracy. Good taste of power. Beaumont in particular, very impressive. 63 off just 53 deliveries today for Danny Wyatt. Knight is the other big contributor. The runner ball 39, but all in all, very comfortable for England. New Zealand bowlers just didn't have enough to work with. They knew they were 20 to 30 runs short. You need wickets at the top. They didn't get it. They fought hard through the middle. England always in front.
So the White Ferns 123 for 9 from their 20 overs on the back of Amy Satterthwaite with 49. Freya Davies was outstanding, 4 for 23. That's Siva 2 for 25. And England, well, they chased down that 4 wickets down, and that was on the back of Tammy Beaumont, 63 from 53. That was an outstanding innings. England comfortable victors by 6 wickets. Quality side. This England side ranked number 2 in the world in T20 cricket. A number of world-class performers in their side. Tammy Beaumont, what a run machine she has been on this tour. New Zealand have just not been able to find a way to get her out. She has made the most of these good batting conditions an absolute star. Real thorn in New Zealand's side at the top of the order. But they've all done their parts, England. They look clinical in all the areas. Right, let's go downstairs, see who Frankie has with her.
I've got the ANZ Player of the Match alongside me, Freya Davies, and of course it could only be you after such a fantastic performance with the ball in hand today. Must have felt nice to pick up a few wickets.
Yeah, it's always exciting to get wickets out there, but it's just nice to come away with a series win and hopefully finish off in style on Sunday.
11 runs coming off your first over. Were there a few deep breaths needed to be taken at that moment?
Yeah, just took a little bit of time to calm myself after that and really come back stronger and make sure I could put in a performance for the team.
The wicket looked like it played a little bit different to game one as well. How did you adapt out in the middle?
I think it looked a little bit quicker, a little bit nicer to bat on, but we just had very simple plans, keep the stumps in play and let them make mistakes, really.
A new career best bowling figures for you as well, and picking up some big scalps in the New Zealand side. Their batsmen looked dangerous early on, so must have been pleased with how it finished up.
Say that again, sorry.
Just you must have been pleased to pick up some big scalps and then to finish up with a very chaseable total.
Yeah, definitely. They've got some very good players, so it's just nice to contribute to the team and come away with a win.
And nice to put your feet up and watch your top order get the job done.
Yeah, it's always nice to watch them score some runs, and they made it look very easy with the bat today. It was good.
Wonderful.
Good
well, Freya, thank you so much for your time. It was brilliant to watch you with ball in hand today, picking up new career best figures of 4 for 23.
Thank you very much.
She bowled beautifully, did Freya Davies, 4 for 23, overtaking a previous best of 2 for 18. And warm applause for her by her teammates who would have appreciated her performance today. Let's go back downstairs. Frankie Mackay has New Zealand's captain, Sophie Devine.
Sophie, a discussion I wish I wasn't having to have with you. I would love to say that you'd be the second captain I'd be talking to today, but unfortunately after a good side, just not New Zealand's day again.
Yeah, again, unfortunately, it sort of seems to be a bit on repeat. There was glimpses. I thought Amy Satterthwaite again with a bat was a real positive, and her partnership with Amelia Kerr was sort of just teetering on, turning the game our way. But unfortunately, we couldn't hold that pressure for long periods. And then again, we know how good the England top order is. So, look, credit to England today again.
And losing 7 for 39, unfortunately, through the middle stages and back end of that innings. Another collapse to put to the cards. I mean, how do you address that?
Yeah, look, I actually think the wicket played really well today, and I don't think we can blame that at all. I think we've probably got to look at our game awareness and how we're getting out and when we're getting out too. I thought, as I mentioned, Amelia and Amy put together a brilliant partnership. It's about how can we continue that on and allow the set batter to continue that on, rather than, I guess, we sort of lose wickets and then we have to start from scratch and it takes a wee while to get going. So, again, these are conversations we have to keep having and keep learning. We've got to keep looking at the big picture, that there's a World Cup in 12 months' time that we're sort of piecing our stuff together for.
At 120, not as many runs as you would have hoped to put on the board, but it showed that it could have possibly been defendable with a couple of early strikes.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because we keep looking up at the comparisons on the scoreboard and we're actually level for most of the game. Obviously, we had that bit of a collapse with our batting, but we know how quickly T20 can change. It can only, take a matter of balls and it swings back our way. So, yeah, for us, it's about staying in the game for longer periods of time. I've said it before and I'll have to say it again today.
Unfortunately, it means the series is lost, but looking forward to a good Wellington crowd turning out on Sunday.
Yeah, look, absolutely. We want to make sure that with fans and that we put a performance out that we're all proud of, particularly me. I think it'd be nice to score some runs in front of the home crowd, but look, it's fantastic news that we can have fans in for the last one, so hopefully Wellingtonians can come on board and see a good game of cricket.
Yeah, thanks very much, Soph, for your time, and best of luck for that last game. And I'll bring in English captain Heather Knight. And Heather, look, just another clinical performance from your side.
Yeah, I thought the bowlers were really good. I thought Amy batted brilliantly, really put us under pressure, which was quite nice actually to see the bowlers under the pump a little bit more. And I thought we reacted well, brought it back really well. I think the seamers in particular and Sophie Eccleston as well were outstanding.
82 for 2. Were there a few nervous moments as a captain?
Not really. It looked like the pitch was a little bit easier to bat on than the other day, but we managed to slow things down a little bit and drag the momentum back, which was really nice to see.
And Freya Davies was just amazing with ball in hand today.
Yeah, she was great. Obviously only got one over because the spinners looked a bit harder the other day, so she took her chance today, amazingly, bowled brilliantly. She's been a really good player for us in T20, so hopefully she keeps improving and putting in performances like that.
It just looks like a really good team feel at the moment. It looks like everyone knows their job as well, and just must be a nice team to be part of.
Yeah, we've played a lot of T20 cricket probably as a side now, and we feel like they've got a lot of different people contributing. So if it's not someone's day, it can be someone else's. So that's really nice, and I'm really pleased with how our fielding's going as well. We've identified it as a big area that we can really push forward to try and be the best in the world, and the signs have been good so far.
Yeah, I think Tammy Beaumont's been brilliant in the field. That's been really noticeable, but she's been brilliant with bat in hand as well. I've been very, very impressed, and she's really leading from the front in your side.
Yeah, she's been great. Today she made it look a lot easier. I found it really tough up there, found it a little bit slow and found it hard to middle. So Tammy going at the other end really helped me get going in my innings, and yeah, to see her playing like that in T20 is really nice.
Yeah, it's been brilliant to watch once again, and congratulations on a 2-0 series victory at the moment, and best of luck for the third and final game here on Sunday.
Thanks, Frankie.
Happy captain, good afternoon for England. And the White Ferns could only muster 123 for 9 from their 20 overs. Davies to stay off the ball, 4 for 23. Siva 2 for 25 as well, and Glenn 2 for 27. And then with the bat, England pretty comfortable, 124 for 4 on the back of Tammy Beaumont, the run scoring machine, 63 from 53. And the captain Heather Knight played a nice innings too of 39 from 39. England comfortable win by 6 wickets. Game 2 of this double header here in Wellington, and it's the 4th T20 between these two sides, the Black Caps versus Australia, and that will be live tonight, 6:30 p.m. Well, it's been an interesting day's cricket already. A big win for England. They are a quality side. We'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll have more reaction to England's victory here today.